soul. Welcome back to MindBody Connection with me, Karey Smith, the podcast where we dig into real stuff, your mind, your emotions, your body, and how to live with more peace, joy, and genuine connection. Today we're talking about relationships and communication. You know, the thing that we all think we're decent at until someone says, we need to talk. And our brain immediately runs for cover like you just heard a smoke alarm. Whether it's your spouse, your partner, your mom, your moody teen, or that one coworker who replies, per my last email, like it's a threat. This episode is for you. Hey, can we talk for a minute? 'Cause I just want to know how you feel. The real reason we struggle to communicate. Let me tell you about a client I once worked with. We'll call her Jenna. Jenna came to me because she was exhausted in her marriage. Every conversation with her husband felt like a standoff. He'd shut down, she'd raise her voice, and both of them left the conversation more disconnected than when they started. She said, Karey, I don't know how to talk to him anymore. I say what I feel, and it's like he doesn't hear me. And you know what I told her? Of course he doesn't. Because most people don't actually speak from a calm place. They speak from a wounded place. And most people don't listen to understand. They listen to defend. We're not all bad communicators. We're just unhealed communicators. When we believe we're not heard, when we carry shame or fear of rejection, when we never learn to feel safe speaking honestly, we default to survival mode communication, like stonewalling, people-pleasing, exploding, or shutting down. But good communication starts before you even open your mouth. It starts with your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotional wiring. Your words follow your thoughts. Something I teach every client. You cannot speak more kindly than you think. Take a second with that one. If your inner world is full of fear, guilt, or they're going to hurt me, then your words are going to reflect that, even if you're trying to be calm. That's why we start with the root. What are you thinking before you speak? Try asking yourself, what am I assuming about this person? Am I trying to connect or control? Do I feel safe right now? Is this conversation coming from love or from fear? Jenna told me when she started doing this, she began noticing the little thoughts that showed up before her words, like, he doesn't really care about me, or how I feel, or I always have to bring things up, or they never get fixed. And with that awareness, she started changing the conversation inside and out. The power of mindful connection. Now here's where it gets really good, and you know I love this, mindfulness. Before you speak, take a breath. Not just any breath, a mindful one. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice what's happening in your body. Are your shoulders tense? Is your jaw clenched? Is your heart racing? Your body knows before your mind does whether you're in a safe space to communicate or a reactive space. Here's a simple practice that I teach. Number 1, pause. Take 3 deep breaths through the nose and out your mouth. Number 2, notice, what am I feeling right now? From head to toe, inside and out. Number 3, choose. What energy do I want to bring to this conversation? What is the outcome that's really in my heart? Because when you're mindful in your inner state, your words naturally become more intentional, more loving, more powerful. Let's talk about the actual words we speak, because they matter more than we think. These are words that build up and words that tear down. Words that create safety and words that create walls. Life-speaking words sound like, help me understand you, or I appreciate when you. What I hear you saying is, I feel safe when. Can we try that again? Death-speaking words sound like, you always, or you never, or why can't you just, or fine, whatever, or you're being too sensitive, or that's not what I meant, without taking responsibility. Notice the difference. Life-speaking words invite connection. Death-speaking words shut it down. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Understanding each other's language. Now let's get a little playful here and talk about something fascinating. The beautiful differences in how men and women often communicate. And before anyone gets their feathers ruffled, I'm talking about general patterns, not rules. Every person is so unique, but understanding those tendencies can be like having a translation guide for your relationships. Often when women communicate, we A, process out loud because talking helps us figure out what we think. B, we want to feel heard and understood first. C, connect through sharing details and emotions. D, sometimes we just want someone to listen, not to fix. So often when men communicate, they A, process internally first, then share conclusions. B, want to solve problems quickly. C, connect through activities and shared experiences. Or D, feel valued when they can provide solutions. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Jenna thought her husband didn't care because he jumped straight into solutions instead of listening to her feelings. But in his mind, offering solutions was his way of showing love and care. Once she understood this, she started saying things like, "Honey, I'm not looking for a solution right now. I just need you to hear me." And he'd say, "Got it," and just listen. What a game changer. And if there's any guys listening, when she's sharing a problem, try asking, "Do you want me to just listen? Or are you looking for suggestions?" Trust me on this one. And for the ladies, when he goes quiet, it might not mean he doesn't care. He might just be processing. Try giving him space to think and then circle back. We're not from different planets, even though apparently men are from Mars, we're from Venus. We're just speaking different emotional languages sometimes. How to actually say what you mean without burning the bridge. Let's get practical. You want to say something important, maybe even something hard. How do you do it in a way that doesn't leave both you emotionally limping? Here are 3 things I teach all the time in sessions, and they work like therapy gold. Number 1, lead with I, not you. Instead of "you never listen," try "I feel hurt when I don't feel heard." It softens the entry, reduces defensiveness, and keeps the door open. Number 2, breathe before you speak. Literally pause, ground yourself. Don't speak while your nervous system is still sounding the danger alarm. You'll say things you don't mean and forget the ones you do. Number 3, mirror before responding. This one's powerful. Before you share your point of view, reflect theirs. So what I hear you saying is that you felt hurt when I canceled without warning. Is that right? That simple act of mirroring creates emotional safety, and where there's safety, there's space for connection. Healing relationships starts with you. So here's what happened with Jenna. Over a few weeks, she started shifting her patterns. She focused more on regulating herself than on fixing her husband. She stopped trying to win the argument and started trying to stay connected. She let go of the scorecard. She dropped the emotional grenades. She started speaking life over her marriage instead of rehearsing what was wrong. And guess what happened? Her husband definitely started leaning in. They had way fewer fights. And when conflict did come up, they handled it like a team, not 2 boxers in a ring. Now, I'm not saying that you're the only one who needs to change. Relationships are a dance. It takes 2. But it always starts with you. And that's where your power lives, not in fixing them, but in transforming how you show up. Let's talk about something that can feel like a big, heavy word, but is actually one of the most liberating tools in your relationship toolbox. Forgiveness. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Karey, forgiveness sounds like I'm letting someone off the hook for hurting me. Or maybe I'm not ready to forgive because I'm still mad. I hear you. I've been there. But here's the thing. Forgiveness isn't about excusing someone's behavior or pretending everything's fine. It's about freeing you from carrying the weight of resentment so you can communicate from a place of peace, not pain. Let's break it down. When we hold on to hurt, whether it's from a partner's careless words or a friend's betrayal, or even something we've done to ourselves, it's like carrying a backpack full of bricks. Every conversation you have with that person, those bricks are weighing you down. You might snap faster, shut down sooner, or feel like you're walking on eggshells. That's not communication. That's survival mode. But forgiveness, it's like setting that backpack down. It doesn't mean you forget what happened or stop setting boundaries. It means you choose to release the emotional grip that hurt has on you so you can show up fully in your relationship. So why does forgiveness matter for communication? When you forgive, you create space for honest, open dialogue. You're not speaking from a place of you owe me or you hurt me. You're speaking from a place of clarity and strength. And that shift, it's magnetic. It invites the other person to meet you in that space of authenticity. Let me share another quick story. My client Maya, who was struggling to talk to her sister after a big fallout, she felt betrayed because her sister shared something private with their family. Every time they talked, Maya would get cold or passive-aggressive, and her sister would get defensive. They were stuck. When we start working together, I asked Maya, what would it look like to forgive your sister? Not for her sake, but for yours. At first, she wasn't having it, but then she tried a simple practice that I'm going to share with you in a second. And over time, she noticed something. She felt lighter. She could talk to her sister without that knot in her stomach. And her sister started opening up too. Their conversations went from tense to tender. So here's a simple forgiveness practice. This is a mindfulness-based practice you can try today to start letting go and make room for better communication. It just takes a minute or two, and you can do it anywhere. We can call this tool time. It's tool time. Just a little quick one. So find a quiet moment. Sit comfortably, close your eyes if you feel safe, and take a few deep breaths. Feel your body settle. Name the hurt. So think of a person or situation you're holding on to. Silently say it to yourself. I'm hurt because blank. No judgment, just name it. Then release with intention. Imagine that hurt as something you're holding in your hands. Maybe it's like a heavy stone or a big tangled knot. Now picture yourself setting it down or letting it float away. Say to yourself, I choose to release this for my own peace and because forgiveness matters. Breathe in compassion. Take one deep breath and invite compassion for yourself or maybe even for the other person. You don't have to feel warm and fuzzy about them. Just open the door a little crack. This isn't a one and done thing. Forgiveness is a practice, not a finish line. But every time you do this, you're rewiring your heart to communicate from a place of freedom, not fear. Let it go, let it go. Just don't hold it anymore. Forgiveness in action. Once you start practicing forgiveness, you'll notice it changes how you show up in conversations. Instead of bringing old wounds to the table, you'll bring curiosity. Instead of guarding your heart, you're opening it up just enough to let connection happen. For Maya, this meant she could finally say to her sister, I felt really hurt when that happened, but I want us to move forward together. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. Just in saying that, spoken from a place of forgiveness, opened the door to a conversation that they hadn't been able to have in months. And here's a little secret. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself. If you're carrying guilt for something you said or didn't say, try to name that practice too. Name it and release it and breathe in compassion. You deserve that freedom too. So why does this matter? Forgiveness doesn't just heal your relationships, it heals you. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to be in your communication. It's the difference between staying stuck in hurt and stepping into connection. And it's a gift to yourself, no matter what the other person does. So as you head into your next conversation, whether it's with your partner, your best friend, or even your reflection in the mirror, ask yourself, what can I release to make this moment lighter? Let's bring it all home. Today, we've been diving deep into how we connect through our words, our thoughts, and that powerful choice to forgive. Here's the heart of it. Healthy relationships start with you showing up as your most honest, grounded self. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't connect if you're holding on to fear, resentment, or the need to be right. That's why we do the inside work, because your peace sets the stage for every conversation. Here's what I want you to carry with you. Choose connection over winning. Let go of the need to control the outcome and lean into understanding instead. Speak from love, not fear. Whether it's forgiving someone else or yourself, release what's heavy so your words can lift up. Trust your voice. You're not too much, too quiet, or too anything. You're learning to love and communicate with more courage every day. And you're not just building better relationships, you're building a better you. And that, my friend, is something to celebrate. If today's episode sparked something in you, maybe a little aha moment or a nudge to try something new, I'm so glad you're here. Here's what you can do next. Please drop a review on your favorite podcast app. Your words help the show reach more hearts. Share this episode with someone who needs it, maybe a friend who's navigating a tough conversation. Also, grab my free mindfulness downloads. You'll find links in the show notes. Also, visit my website for a free discovery call, whether it's one-on-one coaching, group sessions, or chat about your journey. I'm here for you. Until we meet again, keep choosing kindness, keep speaking truth, and keep showing up for the people you love, starting with yourself. You're doing a beautiful work, and I'm here to cheer you on. Don't forget, you are not broken. You are becoming. And be a little kinder to yourself today.